Cart, this is the moment I think all Michigan State fans have been waiting roughly a month and 10 days for. Michigan State looks fantastic in a blowout, dominant, exciting, fun, whatever positive adjective you want to use game against the Baylor Bears, who notoriously were undefeated. They are no longer undefeated. Carter, the question all Michigan State fans have asked for the 36 hours since this game ended: are you bringing out the victory shades?
No, not the shades today. We got a special cup with a special victory beverage. Ooh, and to answer your next question, it tastes oh so good. It truly does. Man, if there was ever a win this team needed, it was a win and a win in this fashion. Truly, nothing could have gone better. Everything was perfect. I find myself asking where the hell this team has been the whole season. I truly find myself asking that question, but I don't want to spend too much time on that question because everything that could go right in this game went right. They played extremely well with their back against the wall. Use whatever catchphrase you want. An animal on the edge of life. They got to fight for their life. I don't know what it is. I don't know what cliche I want to use, but it was a back against the wall game and a team that I personally question leadership, mental toughness, having the ability to rise to the challenge, rise to the opportunity, and win a game with your back against the wall. I'm going to give them credit for doing that instead of downplaying it that we shouldn't be in the position where our backs are against the wall. So, you know, looking at it as a one-off situation, great game, great win. I'm not going to look beyond that as far as the outlook of this team because I don't want it to be just a spark in the pan, whatever phrase it is. Shout out to our Discord is going to break down that idiom, but I'm extremely happy, and that was a must-win game, and it was a fun game.
Did you go to the green background behind you in some sort of tribute to all things are turning green for Michigan State right now?
No, that's just the Northern Lights in Alaska, and I want to go there one day.
Oh, okay. Noted. The second question everybody wants to know, is it especially impressive that Michigan State was able to secure this victory in the style they did, knowing that your hair looks the way it does?
I know I need a haircut, man. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that to me?
Listen, we had a big intermission. We did like 6 of these recaps, and then you came back, and for some reason, it just looks way different than it did before. I don't
I'm
know what
I'm
happened.
I'm disheveled. I haven't had a haircut in a month.
It might be these Miller Lights, and I know you're going to have a Christmas cut. I'm not doubting you for 1 second. There will be a nice looking Carter Christmas cut.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
damn
I
Skippy
just
will.
it's equally impressive that like the team looked the way it did with you looking the way you do. It's impressive. So
That's crazy. That's crazy. It
I'm
is.
sorry. I'm sorry. I got to get the jab counter going. This is the only thing I can jab this game. Uh,
Respect.
look, Michigan State's super impressive. Super impressive. It honestly, I mean this with pure sincerity. I don't know if people will believe me or not. It was really good to see this team play this way. Like truly, I have wanted to at least know they're capable of it, even if like because it's not at a certain point as a rival fan. Like, yeah, okay, it's fun watching your rival be miserable, but also like it would be more fun watching them be miserable if you knew they could be good. And I feel
Mhm.
like we were kind of crossing a point where it's like Michigan State might just be bad. It's not fun to kick them while they're down. Now, like, if you do drop the ball again, we can laugh at it more as rival fans because this team does have a really, really high ceiling, even with all of the limitations. And they showed that tonight or 2 days ago. I recorded the first half of this game. I also want to own that I could be part of Michigan State's problem because I went to X Golf. I was 2 under through 6 holes for the record. Don't ask me what I finished. But I recorded it, got home. I saw a bunch of texts from you, but I didn't like read them because I didn't want to spoil anything. Got home, saw the score. It was 45-17 when I got home.
Yeah. It was wild, G, for real. And I was actually going through and I was thinking of a half of Michigan State basketball that I saw that was better than that. And the only one that came to mind, and I'm for sure missing one because anyone who listens to us knows how I am with memory and things like this, memory and math, the two double M's, not something I do well with. But I'm thinking back to like the second half of the Ohio State when Cassius was a senior, the game when they wrapped up the Big Ten championship. But to be honest with you, this half of basketball was better than that. Just from pure putting a half of basketball against another one, it was wild what these dudes were doing. Tyson Walker was in his absolute go yard duffel bag. Cohen Carr's getting out on the break and doing windmills with no dribbles off of outlet pass. We are absolutely clamping up on the defensive end. We have Jaden Nunn. We have top 5 pick Jacoby Walter in hell. We have Ray J. Dennis in hell. We just had everyone. We had Scott Drew in hell. It was a perfect half of basketball. It was truly impressive to see from Michigan State. And I do want to double down on your point that it felt good just to see that this team is capable of this, because me and you did have the conversation. We're like, we were just wrong about this team. Like, we were just wrong. Like, these guys just are what they are, and this is what they are, and we need to stop like expecting more out of this team when they are what they are. I think we need to put that narrative to rest. And that doesn't mean anything for the outlook of the season, but I want to put the narrative to rest that this team can't be what they are, what they were in that Baylor game. And that might lead to more disappointment. It might lead to less disappointment. But I think that as far as the standard we hold this Michigan State team to, we saw what they can do when they're playing good basketball. And we saw what they can do when they're playing the way they played against Baylor. So yeah, I think it raises not the expectations, but maybe like the level you evaluate this team on.
Did Tyson score in the second half?
I was in euphoria zone. He did score in the second half, by the way. He scored on a AJ Hogarth, Tyson
Oh
Walker
yeah, yeah, yeah. The
alley-oop.
oop, the
Yeah,
oop.
and he had a
Okay.
couple. He had a couple layups as well too.
I thought he had 23 at halftime.
I don't think he had 23 at half. I know he had. I think he had 17 in the first half.
Okay. Then I may just be totally misremembering things at this point. It was all a green blur for the Spartans. Okay, so I don't want to spoil the parade too much. With that said, we both predicted Michigan State would win this game. I don't think we're shocked they won this game. I think we're shocked in the fashion that it happened. I think we're obviously shocked like Michigan State had so much success offensively in spurts. But as weird as it is to say it, I think even in this game, some of the red flags that we know exist with this team were kind of still here. This was just like them playing the best case version of themselves given the limitations, if that makes sense. Like this team only attempted 12 three-pointers. They just they made 8 of them. Like I guess if Michigan State shoots 67% from 3, you don't need that much shooting. But like that's still an insanely low number in a neutral site game against Baylor's defense. Now they made them all. The bench, by the way, 12 for 13 combined from the floor. I still don't think any of those players are that good. I think Trey Holloman is actually giving you really good minutes off the bench right now, and Cohen Carr's dunky dunks are incredible. But Xavier Booker's not going 3 for 3 from the floor in 7 minutes every game. Carson Cooper's not going 3 for 3 from the floor every game. So yes, I get I'm doing this was just one game, but I think some of the ways Michigan State did this seem a little bit that's never going to happen again to me.
Can I say that? Can I say this though?
Yes.
I think that some of the things as far as like Carson Cooper going 3 for 3 from the floor and like that can happen because of what the guards did in this game. I like AJ Hogarth was putting pressure on the rim. AJ Hogarth was posting up guards on the other team. Tyson Walker himself was putting pressure on guys at the rim and off the pick and roll. And it was kind of confusing why like it happened in this game. Maybe it was a back against the wall moment and that's why they started doing it. But I think that because guys were putting more pressure at it seemed like it started with the guards and then it kind of seeped down. And Carson Cooper was just like all his attempts and all his makes were alley-oop dunky dunks, right? Like that's all that had to be done. Mady Sissoko's was a dunk and an offensive rebound and a putback. Like that's all that really was. And Tyson Walker in that first, I think it was like 10 minutes or something like that, just OD. Like when he gets in that mode, like the 2-minute mode where he's just cooking and he's not missing, that is a bad man. Like a really bad man.
Yeah. No, I think when Tyson is playing the way he did and he's hunting the way he did in the first half of this game, because I went back and rewatched it for those that are like, oh, you just said you didn't watch. I went back and rewatched it immediately. He
Mhm.
was just absolutely unconscious in the first half. But I also thought, I think that's the most aggressive we've seen him too. And I think that's what this team needs. Like, I think the best path forward for this team is a team that wants Tyson Walker to score 30 in games. Like, and
Yeah,
I don't mean that as disrespect to anybody else. I think he's capable of that, and it
yeah.
bodes really well that he can do that.
And I'd also like to get your opinion on the fact that we talked a lot about how the adjustment of this team should be the fact that because they don't have Joey Hauser and you're not going to be that great of a shooting, that they should get out and run a little bit more. And I thought they did a really good job of that this game. And it started with defense and rebounding. But to be honest with you, their defense has been, I'm not going to comment on rebounding. Rebounding can definitely be better. Obviously, we know that with the center situation, the team itself. But defense hasn't necessarily been awful. But in this game, they were able to turn defense and rebounds and stops and having active hands. I mean, Tyson Walker had 5 steals in this game. He was in Baylor's guard shorts, pause. And they were able to turn that into baskets on the other end, like getting out and running. So
Yeah.
that was something I haven't seen up to this point this year. And that's something I coming into the season, I thought was going to happen a lot.
Yeah, this is only the second game that didn't go to overtime. So the James Madison would have been the third, but it went to overtime, so it disqualifies them. Only the second game of the season that has had more than 70 possessions for Michigan State in a game, which again, all comes back to tempo. Fanta nailed it in his article. He behind the scenes, he had texted us on like, "Hey, what are your thoughts on this?" And both of us immediately were like, "Tempo, tempo, tempo." So it was good to see. It's also a lot easier to run when the other team isn't scoring. Michigan State is a team that can definitely get stops on a consistent basis. I also think like it wouldn't have mattered, I don't think, because Michigan State did show up, but Baylor totally no-showed this game.
Oh yeah, no, they 100% did. They
Like
100% did,
they
and
did not get off the bus.
yeah, they no showed it. Can I pull the though they no showed, but part of the reason they no shows because Michigan State put that pressure on them early, like they were in them from the tip.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
Mm.
Both things can happen concurrently.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
But Baylor no showed.
Oh, yeah,
Langston Love played 18 minutes in this game and had an offensive rating of 0. Like they no showed. He had no stats. He was over 4 from the floor with 2 turnovers. Like yikes. I have a couple other things here. Can I go player by player for you real quick and go through Michigan State? And I want you to tell me because I think so many people are coming away from this game like that's a totally different team. It's a totally different. We haven't seen that. I want to go player by player. And you tell me if you've seen the version of the player that showed up in this game this year. Okay. Tyson Walker, 25 points, 4 assists, 3 turnovers. Have we seen
yeah,
that guy?
yeah.
To me, that's just Tyson Walker. We've seen that guy. That's who he's been this year.
Hmm.
Jaden Akins, 5 points on 2 for 6 from the floor.
Yeah, I've actually seen that guy.
Yeah,
That's who.
we've seen that guy. That's who it is. Malik Hall, 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist.
Seen that guy.
We've seen that guy. He is who he is. Madi Sissoko had 4 points and 8 rebounds.
Seen that guy.
We've seen that guy for the most part. Carson Cooper had 8 points and 4 rebounds.
I will say we haven't seen this Carson up into this season.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a stretch, but I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a stretch. Trey Holloman, good minutes, 11 points off the bench. I think we've seen that.
Seen that this season, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen that. Jeremy Fears doing nothing in the stat sheet. Couple assists, four assists, 2 turnovers. We've seen that. Xavier Booker, I guess we haven't seen that. 3 for 3 from the floor in 7 minutes.
He got on the floor. We haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's just because he hasn't been on the floor. Do you get what I'm saying here? You know what changed? It wasn't the whole team that changed. It was the guy I haven't mentioned who changed. We haven't seen this AJ Hoggard. That's the only guy that changed. And I think as a result, we can say the whole team changed, but it's because of one guy. Like, you guys got to realize this was not some great awakening of Michigan State basketball as a whole. This was an AJ Hoggard awakening. And when
Well,
he's good, this team can be that.
I think we do realize that, and I think credit to you. You done a good job of making it known, and I agree with you in this point. This team goes as AJ Hoggard goes. That's why it is so scary to be a Michigan State fan because it is dependent on AJ Hoggard.
Yeah.
And and it's great, right? And it looked great against Baylor. He was fantastic. He posted the IG. He tagged the Baylor guard. He said to stand on business. He lifted the McLean Cup, McLean Cup, whatever it is.
We're not making that a thing. We're not.
I know. I just love pointing it out because I think it's hilarious.
But so
But
here's my problem with all that. And I was gonna ask this before we wrap, but now it's coming up organically in the AJ conversation.
sorry, but
We agree Baylor didn't show up.
mm-hmm,
We agree this is the first game we feel great from start to finish about AJ Hoggard.
mm-hmm.
AJ Hoggard having a great game when the other team just flat out didn't get off the bus and then victory lapping it on Instagram and hoisting a trophy that is the most meaningless thing ever is the most AJ Hoggard moment of his career.
Yeah.
Like this AJ Hoggard dancing in a locker room, hoisting a trophy, and
Oh, hold on. Leave the dancing in the locker room out. The team had to be happy. They've been struggling. They get a
listen, man,
win. You got to be happy.
Try and put yourself in my shoes. If a Michigan team that was top 5 in the country preseason won a game in this fashion to go to 5-5, and then their point guard was acting this way and making the McLean Cup out to be as if you made a Final Four. Did you have pictures of the McLean Cup in the locker room in the summer? Was that honestly? I might need to Photoshop that immediately.
I can't believe you're okay. I'm not gonna meet you there. The team should be happy they won the game.
The victory lapping from specifically AJ is crazy after this.
Maybe, but the team should be. I'm speaking like you talk about like the team was happy in the locker room. AJ was dancing. They should be happy they won the basketball game. They won a game against a top 10 basketball team. They should be happy.
They were really happy.
They should be happy. Don't be a happy Scrooge. Happy Scrooge.
It was a lot of happiness. I'm just
shit. Me too. I was happy as hell.
If Draymond Green was on this team,
oh,
are they dancing in the locker room? Is any of this happening as a 5-5 basketball team?
They're not 5-5 if Draymond Green's on this team.
First correct thing you've said in the last 2 minutes.
Hey, that's not fair.
Look, I'm not here to rain on the parade.
I don't like the angle you're taking here. I mean, I hear you.
I'm not here to rain on the team's parade. The team was elite in this game. The team was a top 5 team in the country in this game. When you go 12 for 13 from your bench players and you make 67% of your threes and the other team doesn't get off the bus, top 5 team in the country, good. That's true. Might happen again. Hope it does. But I shed a tear watching how happy AJ Hoggard was in the post game.
You're putting way too much in the other team than to get off the bus.
Maybe.
I think right now you're like other team didn't get off the bus. You're putting it at like 65%, 70%. Other team didn't get off the bus.
I don't mean to. I think it's
we were in them dude shit. That's why they bowed out quick.
They did. I think it's 60% Michigan State, 40% Baylor.
Okay.
Great win. Don't get me wrong. I see the vision with this team now.
I don't like it anymore. Stupid win.
I lost the vision the moment I saw how happy AJ was in the locker room, man.
AJ Hoggard's happiness had you losing the vision.
No, it was just this is the shit we would do with the Real Housewives program, right? And I got called out for it all last season. I'm sure Michigan State fans will call me out, but like body language PhD, I just don't think you want to be this happy as a team that's 0-2 in the Big Ten with a fake trophy when you had Final Four dreams. Like that's just to me, that's a crazy look. It's a crazy
every day is a new day, you know?
You're right. Would you like me to get you a miniature McLean Cup?
Yes.
You could use like an ornament, I feel like.
Yes, please. Actually.
Okay. Did you ever win a trophy in college? Like in your playing days? Did you ever
usually for like any invitationals or anything like that, like a Christmas invitation or anything like that. Yeah, we we get them. And
Was was this an invitational?
yes, it was. That's what it was. It was the McLean Invitational.
Wasn't this just a neutral site game? And then somebody last minute was like, "There's an alum that we're gonna like."
I for sure won that tournament too, and posted a pic on IG.
That's
Am I Hogard?
it's behavior I support from you at Albion. If you were Michigan State's point guard, I don't think I feel the same way about it.
This episode is not going the way I want it to go.
How do you want it to go? I want it to end on a note that you want it to end. So how do you want to end this?
Michigan State is a blank team in the country. A top blank.
I have to qualify this. Do you want me to answer top blank when they play their best, or do you want me to answer top blank for how often I think they will play their best and who they really are?
Can I get an answer for both?
Yeah, when they play their best, I think Michigan State's a top 10 team in the country.
Okay.
When they play their best, and I think this was their best.
Can I get the answer on the other end of that?
I think they're a top 40 team in the country.
40.
Yeah, I think they are the team they were for the first 9 games of the season.
Okay. With my McLean Cup, I won the Mike Turner Tip-Off Classic.
Let me see who's tagged in that photo. Who's tagged? Tell me you tagged an opponent.
Wait, did I? I tagged Heidelberg.
That's the team you beat?
Yeah.
You are AJ Hogarth, man.
Oh God, I'm
hey, and just for those that for those that don't know, how did your team's season end your senior year?
My senior year? Well, that picture was from my junior year, and we lost.
But I'm asking about your senior year because this is AJ Hogarth's senior year. If you're AJ Hogarth, how did when it's your team as a senior, how did your team's season end?
Wasn't my team. I don't want to make that very much known, but it did not.
AJ might say the same, right? He wants to make it very much known. It's Tyson.
Yeah, but no, it did not end well. It was a very average. It was a very 13 loss like average season.
Okay. All right.
I hate this episode.
Am I allowed to ask what's going on with Jay Akins?
Can you turn your hat forward before you ask?
Why?
Because I don't. All right, ask again.
Why didn't you like this?
I don't know, because I feel like you were loading up to.
Oh no. What?
Okay.
Am I allowed to ask what's going on with Jaden or no?
Yeah, you are, because I'm asking the same thing.
Like I would say this: I did not expect Michigan State as a team to play great and Jaden to not be a part of that at all.
I'm very, very concerned about him.
Like he might just be broken.
Yeah.
Does it matter? Like if you get good AJ and Tyson, does it matter?
Yeah, I think it does.
It still does.
I think it does because I'm not counting on any of the role players and bench players that did things in this game to do that again.
I kind of think Holloman's gotten good enough to the point that it might not matter as much as we wish it mattered.
Holloman has been better than Jaden Akins this season, and that is not good.
It's not good, but it's like for my team, I'm saying Will Cheddar's been better than Terrace Reed this season. It's a mix. It's a mix. Like Cheddar is legitimately good. Trey Holloman is legitimately good. He's good.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. I didn't think about it like that.
He's good. I think he's good. You just need Jaden to get good also, and then you really have something. But like, I'm impressed with Trey Holloman. I think he's good. Rank the centers in this game. Madi, Cooper, Booker.
Rank the centers?
Just in this game. Who were you most impressed with? Who were you least impressed with?
I'm going to say Madi, Booker, Cooper.
Cooper was your least impressive?
I didn't think Cooper did anything that impressive, to be honest.
Cooper was your least impressive, but when we went through the box score, you said he was a guy we haven't seen before.
Yeah, because he's a guy who's averaging 2 and 2.
Okay. I'm surprised you had Madi 1.
Yeah. I am, man. I feel like I'm one of the few folks that can come on here and say Madi's a bad basketball player, but also like take it easy on him.
Yeah. I thought Madi was pretty good.
Yeah.
Are you happy with Xavier Booker's minutes?
That man is terrible defensively and lost at sometimes. But at the same time, him being lost and terrible defensively, he also went out there and put up 7 points and hit all his shots from the field. So
I think it's a really bad mix when you're clueless defensively and also low effort defensively. You can't be
mhm.
both. You can be clueless and try hard, or you can know where you're supposed to be and not try hard. Xavier Booker does neither, and that's a big issue.
It's a massive issue.
Izzo in the post game said all the Twitter people can shut up now. I'm paraphrasing, but
Yeah, I heard that too. And also, I'm not shutting up, Thomas. Play him.
okay. Play him through all the defensive effort stuff. Like, just it doesn't matter. Play him.
Yeah, you have to. He has to take off his warm up. Yes, I'm not
Okay.
saying you got to play him like 10 minutes, but he needs to have a reason to shower after the game.
Man's a bucket.
He is he
Like, let's not lose sight of the fact that he is a certified bucket.
Yes, that's a real thing. He
Yeah.
is the best offensive option out of all the centers. He's
Uh,
the
is,
worst defensive option.
is Steven Izzo ever going to score?
No,
A couple free throw opportunities today. Did you
no,
like how those looked?
no. He will never score.
Um, okay. I think
Can I
that's
ask
all.
you? Can I ask you one last thing
Yes.
before we end this episode? First of all, go green. I needed that win more than anything. I don't care what anybody says.
Go white, woof woof.
Um, yep. Spartan dogs. Rank these players defensively. Xavier Booker, Madi Sissoko, Carson Cooper, Malik Hall, and Carter Elliott.
DK is going to be mad at me for this one. I think Madi Sissoko is the best defender. I think Carson Cooper is the second best defender. I think those two are close, and it's minimally different. I think Malik Hall is third. I think you're fourth. I think Xavier Booker's fifth.
That's crazy.
You at least give fake effort.
Fake. Yeah, I am a fake effort connoisseur. I just
You're an elite fake effort guy.
yeah.
Truly.
I'm not here to break that down at all. I just wanted you to list it.
You're
That's it.
not letting Jackson Kohler go for 50 at Moneyball on you. Like
I
you
would
you
do
would
yeah.
you would be taken out on a stretcher before Jackson Kohler 50 balls you in front of a crowd.
I would do something. That's right. I don't know what I do, but I do something.
Yeah, and that's just pride based. That I don't think Xavier Booker has that. Okay.
Okay.
Congrats, Cart. I'm happy to see you happy. It was good to see Michigan State ceiling, and I don't have a witty pun to end this with. Congrats. They got Oakland in like a day. We'll see how they're ready. We're actually going to preview that on the channel, so go watch that next.